Okay, lights to get. What I'm going to do in this episode is I'm going to give you my recommendation of the lights that you should get. And yes, most of my recommendations are really based on price. You know, lighting is one thing where you're going to have to innovate to get what you need, but at the same time, be responsible with your money. You can't make a camera. You're going to have to buy one. But you can make your own lighting kit.
The first light is a portable light. I think a battery-operated small LED panel is extremely useful, and I think you should be looking to get one sometime soon, quote unquote. It doesn't have to be your first light.
Now, check out Caleb Pike's opinion on 7 LED panels that cost under $50. Now, I've got a link down below, and Caleb has his own YouTube channel. It's called DSLR Video Shooter. He does a good job on that.
Now, as Caleb states, when the LED panels are small, they can work, function-wise and price-wise. But I'm going to tell you that as the panels start to get bigger, it becomes more of a questionable buy. The complaint about budget LED panels, well, it's real. It's soft light. It doesn't go very far. It's meant to light up something close, like a person's face, and not much else. Now, there are some of these DIY LED panels that you can make by soldering all these LED strips together. I think that's too much work. I don't even consider them.
Okay, so how about an LED shop work light, like this one right here? This one is made by LED technology, and it gives off 1,000 lumens. I got this for $30. You can probably get it even cheaper at Home Depot or Lowe's. Now, there is some controversy about using these type of LED lights on the set. Even today, I mean, if you were to go onto YouTube, you'll see some people that will say, you cannot use these because they give a greenish or pinkish tinge to your footage, and it's just going to ruin it. I disagree.
Now, here's a clip that I did recently with this LED lamp that I just showed you as the key light. I didn't even use a fill light, so this lamp was really it. Is there a color issue here? I did do some color grading on this clip, and you have to expect doing that on every clip that you're going to put in your movie. But to me, this looks fine. Now, let's take a look at some other work lights, starting off with the Big Daddy. Yeah, the Craftsman 9000, and that 9000 stands for 9,000 lumens. And this light, it's a work light, goes for $130. You know, this baby is going to give you a lot of light, but it may actually be more light than you will ever need. And, you know, the price is not really cheap. If you're going to use something like this, you definitely are going to have to diffuse the light coming out of this lamp. Now, a very interesting work light is a $70 Cobalt 2000 rechargeable. It has 3 levels of lumens, 500, 1000, and 2000.
It can run at 500 lumens for 19 hours on one charge.
Now, speaking of LED lights, here's one for you. The Arri Sky Panel S60C. Yeah, a soft light that will go for only $6,550. Yeah, just kidding. Professional level light.
Now, what if you just wanted a really bright bulb? Well,
now how about the Bonlux 40-watt LED studio light bulb that I've got here on this slide? Only $20. Now, this bulb has been getting the rounds by filmmakers. Apparently, a lot of them like it. It's rated at 3,500 to 3,800 lumens, or 3.5 times brighter than my work light. And it only uses 40 watts. Now, this thing can screw into any light fixture, and the price, wow, I mean, this is great. I personally don't use this bulb because I decided to go another path using a customized light fixture. And well, why don't we talk about light fixtures now?
Okay, this next lamp looks a little strange, I know that, but let me explain. This is a pole lamp that I had that broke. And what happens is a pole lamp, especially these cheap ones, at the very bottom, their base, it's molded with lightweight concrete, and that's what gives it the weight to be able to stand. But that lightweight concrete, eventually it just breaks apart and just crumbles. And once that happens, your pole lamp is toast. But instead of throwing it away, I decided, hey, I want to keep this thing and use it in filmmaking. Now, the beauty of this thing now is that I can unscrew the parts, and it's very lightweight, and I can move it around, transport it, and it works great. For the 3 sockets that this lamp has, I mean, you want this thing to be bright. So I would recommend that you're going to fill those 3 sockets with 75 watt or 100 watt LED bulbs. If you went with 3 100 LED bulbs, the output would be close to 5,000 lumens.
Now, to make it stand up now, you're going to have to tie it to, in this case, a ladder. And I just used any old piece of rope that I found around the house. And if you want, you can actually turn this pole horizontally and run it that way. Now watch how I build a diffusion screen for this light pole. Now this was an old cloth shower liner. These things last for years, but eventually they start to fray around the edges and the grommets start to fall off. So instead of throwing it away, I just washed it and decided, hey, I'm going to turn this into a diffusion screen.
This is not meant to be pretty, but it is meant to be functional.
The next fixture is a filmmaker's favorite, and it's the clamp light. Now these things cost $10 to $12 a piece at your hardware store. You do need a variety of light bulbs to make these work, and I really recommend LED bulbs. Now LED is the future that is fast becoming the present, so don't fight this wave. They last longer and they generate no heat, and that's huge. A 60, 75, and a 100 watt LED, that's what I would recommend. Now these clamp lights, well, they're far from perfect. The clamp mechanism is actually kind of flimsy and cheap. If you go to the store, take one of these clamp lights and try to clamp it onto a PVC pipe, and you'll see what I mean. The whole thing just tries to snap right off. It actually hangs on by the barest of surfaces. Now look at this next slide I have coming up here. I've got this on a stud, and you can see that it's only the front part of the clamp that touches the wood. The back end of the clamp is not touching anything. Now, I do think that using wood, a stud, is a better option than using a PVC pipe. I think that a 2x4, a 1x4, I think that's really the way to go. And both those dimensional numbers, you can get them at your hardware store right off the shelf. Now, in this clip, I wanted to show you something a little different. I've got a piece of wood. It's not a 2x4, it's a 1x3. First of all, notice how much better the clamp is actually gripping the wood. It fits better on a 1x3. The second thing I want to show you was, if you wanted to enhance the stability, you can put screws in to the wood. You only need to do this on one side. Notice the placement of the screws. That top screw is going to prevent the clamp light from dragging down. The lower screw is kind of a brake. It prevents the clamp light from pivoting backwards or dropping and then trying to move back because of the weight of the bulb. That lower screw is going to just hold that clamp light in check. Okay, so after you have this stud with the clamp light on it, you're going to get somebody in your crew to hold it. Don't waste your time trying to build a stand for it. Just get someone to hold it. Okay folks, well that's it for this episode. More than any other equipment sector in filmmaking, lighting can be improvised in so many different ways. Everybody needs lights, okay? it's not just filmmakers. So there's all kinds of products that you can get or make to build your lighting kit. There's no reason to start buying expensive specialty video lights from the get-go. Okay, I want to slip this in real quick before we close out today. I want to give you an example of why lighting is so important. This clip that you're watching, you've seen before, it came off one of the bonus episodes, and I was disappointed at the quality of focus in this output. It doesn't seem real sharp. You know, when you look at it, it seems a little fuzzy. Well, I took that camera, and 2 days later, I ran these clips. Take a look at them. What's the difference? I shot these clips during the day. Now, I think I've explained why I have to shoot at night, noise factor during the day. And so I'm struggling all the time to get adequate light when I do my night shoots. But as you can see, when I have the sunlight streaming into the window, what a difference it does make, doesn't it? Same camera, same length for my face, same distance, I should say, from my face. Look at the difference. Folks, this is why lighting is so important.
In the next episode, we're going to turn day into night. You don't want to miss this. So until then, aloha.